Hi, and welcome back to the Sterlinx Global channel. My name is Jay, and I'm one of the account specialists of Sterlinx Global, a UK-based accounting firm specializing in e-commerce and traditional businesses. For today's discussion, the topic is what needs to be included in a VAT invoice. For any UK VAT-registered business, knowing what information to include on issuing a VAT invoice is essential, as failure to provide the correct details could result in penalties or fines. Fortunately, the UK VAT system is relatively straightforward and user-friendly. However, it is still important to take the time to learn the requirements thoroughly and ensure that your invoices are compliant. In this video, we will focus on VAT invoices, explained to make it easier for you to understand. After watching, you should have a comprehensive guide to VAT invoices, how to issue them correctly, and other aspects you need to know about. Full VAT invoice. When you are not sure of what type of invoice to use, you can never go wrong with a full VAT invoice, since this is the most common one. Full VAT invoice will need to include a unique invoice identification number, supplier's name and address, supplier's VAT registration number, the name and address of the customer, a description of the goods or services sold with quantity sold for each, the time and date of issuance. The time and date the supply was made can be the same as the date of issuance. Price per item excluding VAT. The total amount charged excluding VAT. The total amount of VAT with a VAT rate per item. It must be explicitly disclosed if zero rated or exempt. Simplified VAT Invoice. A simplified VAT invoice is only allowed for transactions that involve a value of less than £250, including VAT. Simplified invoices are less detailed than full invoices, and they most include the following information: a unique invoice identification number, supplier's name and address, supplier's VAT registration number, a description of the goods or services sold with quantity sold for each, the VAT rate per item. It must be explicitly disclosed if zero rated or exempt, the total amount charged, including any VAT. Modified VAT Invoice. The modified VAT invoice is essentially the same as the full invoice, but in addition of the price per item, which is VAT inclusive, and the total amount payable, including VAT. These two items are not required in the full VAT invoice, but are added to the modified VAT invoice if agreed upon with the client. VAT Reclaim. To reclaim the VAT paid on goods and services you purchase for your business, you must provide a valid VAT invoice that meets the requirements outlined by HMRC, as discussed earlier, but this time you are the customer. If you receive an invalid invoice, you should request a new one from the supplier. Beware of the following documents that can be mistakenly identified as a valid invoice for reclaiming VAT. Pro-forma Invoice. A pro-forma invoice is a preliminary invoice that is sent to a customer before the goods or services are actually delivered. It provides details about the goods or services being offered, the price, and any terms and conditions, but it does not constitute a legal VAT invoice. Statement of Transactions. A statement is a summary of all the transactions that have taken place between you and your customer over a period of time. Yes, it helps keep track of your sales and payments, but it is not considered a VAT invoice as well. Delivery Note. A delivery note, on the other hand, is a document that serves as an attachment to the shipment of goods and provides details about the contents of the shipment. While it is important for recording deliveries and managing your inventory, it is also not a valid VAT invoice. We are done with our today's discussion. Thanks for staying until this moment. But before we end, let us also tackle some frequently asked questions about VAT invoices. Number 1. Can I issue a VAT invoice after the goods or services have been delivered? Yes, you can issue a VAT invoice up to 14 days after the goods or services have been delivered. This means that if you forgot to issue a VAT invoice at the time of the transaction, or if the customer requested an invoice after the fact, you still have time to issue a valid invoice that complies with HMRC requirements. Number 2. Should I be required to issue a VAT invoice for sales not subject to VAT? No, you are not required. Instead, you can issue a regular commercial invoice that includes all the relevant information about the transaction. But keep in mind that even if you're not charging VAT on the sale, you still need to maintain complete records of the transaction for tax and accounting purposes. Number 3. Do I need to maintain a copy of every VAT invoice I issue? Yes, you should keep a copy of every VAT invoice you issue for at least 6 years. This is important for record-keeping purposes and in case of any future audits or inquiries by HMRC. Issuing a VAT invoice is an essential part of running a VAT-registered business. It not only helps you stay compliant with tax regulations, but it also enables you to reclaim any VAT that you are entitled to. Thank you for watching and sticking with me until the end. I hope today's discussion helped you learn what needs to be included in a VAT invoice. And for further professional advice about VAT invoicing or other tax-related matters, check out Sterlinx Global website at sterlinxglobal.com. If you enjoy these types of content and want to learn more similar topics about accounting and taxation, please like the video and subscribe to our media channels. Again, I am Jay of Sterlinx Global, and I will see you at the next one.